Hello everybody and welcome back to the Little Farmer's Farm. That's a first aid kit that we purchased from the Tesco's in Wigan, the big one. And it's a cracker, and it was less than a tenner, and it's got all sorts in it. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about it today on today's video. I will do possibly another video just all about the importance of first aid and the basics of first aid. But when we're down on plots like these, where there's I think there's 68 plots down at Eden, a lot of the people that are down here, I won't say they're old people because you're as young as you feel really, but they're not as fit as they once were, and they're doing strenuous work, and sometimes, unfortunately, that can take its toll, and they can get fatigued, they can strain themselves, they can have, you know, God forbid, heart attacks, be victims of stroke and all that kind of thing, and general injuries and cuts, abrasions, that kind of stuff, falls down at a site like this are not going to be uncommon. And I was speaking to one of the ladies the other day, and she said that in the last 12 months they've actually had 2 heart attacks down here. Oh no, sorry, the last sort of 2 years or something like that. Anyway, it's more frequent than you'd find at your local school or something like that. You know, there's a higher percentage of people who are knocking on in years, although they're still fit and agile. The majority of them, because they're working down at the plots. Your bodies get older. I'm not getting any younger, etc. And there's kids coming down here, and it's an environment really that's just natural, and it's not as squeaky clean and sterile as they used to, really, kids these days. You know, you go into schools, they're spotless, and everything's rounded off and softened for them. Well, down here on the plots, it's not always that case, and so there is an increased possibility that injuries and accidents might occur. So it's always a really, really good idea to make yourself aware of the skills that you need, the basics, and the procedures for first aid, and looking after people that need it. And I think that's a really, really good thing, and that's a really, 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 really good kit. And I've had my hair cut, as you can see. I'm sporting the John McClane, or whatever his name is, from Die Hard look today, with my nice, sleeveless carry-on. And we've been doing the family thing all day long. We went to like a summer fete this morning and early on this afternoon, and it was at James's. Well, actually, it wasn't at James's school. It wasn't at the Little Farmer's school. It was at another school, and it was a big summer fete. And the St John's ambulance people were there, and they were giving demonstrations. And James actually got stuck into it, and he was doing CPR, and on the little small child doll and the baby doll. So it was the compressions, the breaths, and the staying alive, staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Carry on. I must do that, I must fix that and put it in. I keep forgetting that it's not put in. Right, so let's get myself front lit. What we're going to do today is we're going to finish off the soffits and the fascias on the tiki hut. The job that I've been threatening to do for ages. It's been raining all day, and it was raining heavy yesterday. I was going to come down really last night and do some, but I didn't because of that. But that's going to get done this weekend, and that's a certainty, boys and girls, that is going to get done this weekend, because it needs to be done. And I'm going to elevate the fascias, the side fascias that are going around the top of that roof as well, just to make sure that it's quite high, and it's going to conceal something that's going to be going on there hopefully next week from prying eyes and jealous minds. Also this weekend we're going to be getting some planting of seed starts going, because in another 5 or 6 weeks time I'm not going to have any I'm going to have quite a bit of space actually, because all the stuff that's going to be maturing will need to be taken out, cropped and harvested, and it's going to need to be replaced. And to do that, you need to have plants, and I don't want to buy any more plants. And it's about time we started to grow our own from seed, which we have done. We have done a bit of that, but we've not done as much as I want to do. I want to get 95% of what we are growing on this plot growing from seed by my own fair hand, and the little farmer's fair hand, and the mini digger's fair hand, and the good lady's fair hand, and we're going to be self-sufficient as much as we possibly can. My brother from another mother, St Michael of Assisi, has made us an offer I couldn't refuse. You make you an offer you can't refuse. Michael's made me a real good offer. He's a gentleman. I'm just going to get out of this wind for a sec while I say what I need to say, and that is that Mick, he's got a cracking plot going next door. I've told you all about it before. I've told you what a top banana Michael is, and he is a top banana. You've met him a couple of times on here, I know. But what we're deciding to do, if they'll let us do it, is we're going to have a yin-yang triple plot. And what that'll mean is that half of my side of Mick's plot, I'll be taking it over, the running of it and the planting in it. The only reason for this is I need more space. Mick's away 4 or 5 days a week, like proper away, like he can't get down because he's away on the wagons. And it's really, really, really nice of him to do this. And he said to us that what we can do is, I'll show you what we're planning on doing if they'll let us do it. This part that's sort of adjacent to me, at the side of me, of ours, we're going to have the alfresco dining area here at the side of the tiki hut, yeah? Now, so the lighting's going all over the place. I hope it's going to sort itself out, this. It's going all over the flaming place. Yeah? That's far too bright. Right, so here, where I actually fixed the fence the other week, we're going to put a doorway between there and there, and that's going to lead onto that path. And from the side of where Mick's central path is between his two plots, it's going to run down, and it's going to probably be to about the end of there, where that bed is. So the end of that bed going across is going to be, yeah, so from there down to there is, he's going to give it to me, basically. I think that's what he was talking about on the phone. He sent us a text message this morning, Mick, and I replied to it by phoning him up. So I'm not sure whether it's going to be from here, or if it is half of it that he's giving us, I'm going to kiss him all over his cheeks, because that'll be from about there, where that netted bit is there, across to there will be about half of it, and it's going to be that little half plot there. And we'll put a little picket fence thing around it just for show, just for niceness, and down that path there. And I'll sort all this bit out. Because he'll be giving it me, so it'll be like a yin yang. So that top bit, all this top bit here, where his polytunnel is, down to there, maybe. I'll have to sort it out with Mick when he gets back. Obviously, all this bit is going to be mixed still, completely 100% mixed. And it's not going to be, oh, that's mine and that's yours. I don't think it's going to be like that, because anything I've got growing in here that he's not got, we're going to share with him. And I think Mick will be in the same mindset, like any gluts that he's got and all that kind of stuff. We want to do it as like a partnership, because we get on dead well, me and Mick, and he's a sound bloke, which is brilliant, you know, dropping on neighbours like that. He's spot on, in it. So that's what we're planning on doing. And it's just so that and I'll keep a watchful eye on everything that Mick's got growing on his side. I'll get the weeding done for him while he's away and all that kind of stuff, and we'll just help each other out when we go on holiday and things like that. It'll be ideal, because you can't be having 2 weeks off and nobody doing stuff on your plot. It was a bit of a worry for me that what we were going to do this year as regards to that, because we are going away from the 14th of July to the back end of July, you know. And we're going to be tormenting the people of Barcelona for a couple of weeks. And while we're doing that, then what's going to be happening to my little babies in here, you know. Now, if Mick's on, and he's coming down. I'll make sure everything's well watered up and everything before I go. But there'll be like 4 or 5 days when he'll not be on. But between us, I think, we'll sort it out between us all, and Shirley and, you know, a couple of the other neighbours. We'll make sure that we're getting sorted and covered while we're away, and while Mick's going away. Mick will be going away on his holidays himself, you know what I mean? It's one of them situations where you'll help each other out. It's what I like about it down here. And anyway, that's the crack. That's what we're going to be doing. That is the game plan. Which is, again, as I say, fantastic. It's unbelievable. You know, the sort of guys you meet down here, especially Mick. He's a diamond, Mick. Absolute spot on. He's going to get a massive big head and all that, like, you know, because he's not that sort of... He just is Mick. Mick is Mick, and I am me. And there you go. But not everybody is like that in life, unfortunately. So we'll have this, which, as I say, is, I think it was, what was it, 69, 70 feet long by 17 feet wide, or 17 and a half, 17'6" wide, is this plot, and then it'll be the same again for this side, because I think that is about the same sort of breadth, and it'll be probably about 32-ish by about 16, 17 feet, something like that, as an extra thing. And there's these fruit bushes down here as well, see. I think they're all fruit bushes, these, aren't they? Not 100% sure, to be honest with you. Yeah, there are fruit on them. Not 100% sure what they are, to be fair. Yeah, perhaps they're similar to the ones that I've got up there, the red currant. Yeah, whatever. You better produce fruit. If they don't, they're coming out. We don't mind ornamental, but we don't want purely ornamental. Not down on the Little Farmer's Farm and the Old Max Stoner's farm. Certainly we don't. We need something that you can enjoy aesthetically, and we can also enjoy gastronomically. I.e., you can eat it. We're going to get edible flowers and such like to go into the alfresco area. Another thing when we do this, I'm sure they'll be okay with it on the Council of Elders, the Council of Elrond. I'm sure they'll be all right with it, because it's just essentially we're sharing. And so when we put the little gate in here and continue that path on into here, Mick and Shirley and all their brood are welcome any time, and they know that, to come down into this part, and they can use the alfresco dining area with us, or even if we're not here, they can come on. They're welcome any time. They're welcome any time. Here's the peas. So as I say, what we're doing this weekend is I've got to get this finished, and I mean finished, boxed off, totally finished and painted. All of that stuff down there where it needs to be jointed up and it needs to be pointed, that will be done. All these sides bits will be weeded, and all that'll be fettled and sorted out this weekend. That's where all of this is being done today. All the roofing is being completed today, and any gaps are going to be sorted out today. Oh, may the Lord Jesus send pestilence upon me of an eternally itchy sphincter if I don't get that done. Because I've got to get that done. I keep threatening to get that done, and I haven't done it yet. And I'm a completer finisher, and that needs to be done this weekend, and it will be. All the rest of it will be tidied up, weeded, etc. And as I say, we're going to be doing, not potting on. That's all done and dusted now. Some small plants that we do have that are yet to be planted in are some more lettuces. We have some more cauliflower that's going to be planted in, and we're going to plant up some more pak choy and leeks. Those are the starts that we've got to plant in this weekend, and it's seed starting we're going to be doing with the compost in the trays, which are over here. Okay, which are here. Two of them are blown off there. From Wilco's. These are from Wilco's, and I think they were like, something like ridiculous, like £1.90 each for these. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's 5 threes, boys and girls? It's 30, isn't it? So altogether there's 60. 120 cells. And then we've got 4, 8, 12, 24, 48. So 168 cells to be filled with seeds, seed starts. And I got 2 more of these while I was down there at Wilko's as well, because they were only £4.75, which is cheaper than B&Q. They didn't have, no, not at Wilko's, it's Home Base. Home Base, these ones. These were only about £2 from Home Base, which I thought was pretty good as well. Yeah, little propagator sets. So you'll be seeing them a bit later on, alright. Okay, catch you later, boys and girls. So yeah, boys and girls, we're thinking some kale. Some Wilko's kale. Look at that. Now, we have 3 varieties of kale here. We've got the curly scarlet, which is there's curly scarlet. We have the dwarf green curled, which I think is going to be pretty good because of our low beds, our low netted beds. And we've got him or her, an Italian beauty. We'll call it a her, that I think. And she's called the Italian Kale Outstanding Flavour Nero di Toscana. Nero di Toscana. Nero di Toscana. Sown May to June, well, we're in June. Harvest September through February, so it's a winter. They're all perhaps good choices, these, because it's going to be winter greens that we're going to get out of these. Because they will overwinter quite well. Apparently they can take the frost as long as it's not too savage, and that's what we want. So we're going to be putting those in and letting them grow on. You can just keep cutting this and eating it as you go, but we're going to get we'll have more than enough seeds, hundreds of seeds, too many seeds for the plants that we're going to be putting in, because we're only going to be doing sort of like, I don't know, 12 of these. So all that kale's probably going to go into that 30. So yeah, that's what we're going to be trying today. I like that stuff. That's pretty good, and it's really, all kales are healthy for you. They are a form of brassica, I do believe, the kale, and but they're very, very nutrient packed. These curly leaves are full of nutrients. They're full of all kinds of antioxidants, and you should try and eat the rainbow, as John Kohler advises. And that's what we're going to be trying to do here. We're going to have different sorts of colours and varieties. And the reason that I got these to start off is because of their nutrient density. Now these are from Wilko's, as you can see. These are from Paul Green, and these were a lot more expensive. They were like £1.45, so they're nearly twice as much as these ones. In fact, they are. No, they're not. Yeah, roughly. I've got tons and tons and tons of seeds, as you can see here. I put them all into bags. These are seeds that we've been given as presents and stuff like that, or we've bought. So the cabbage, you've got broccoli, kale and cabbage in there. All sorts of different seeds in there. In here you've got the chard, spinach and beets in here. So we're going to be starting some more beetroot and some chard. We're going to do the rainbow chard. Let me just open that up and I can show you. Yeah, so the rainbow chard and the beet leaf rhubarb chard. How's that for you? Some nice colours there for you boys and girls, isn't there? Now there are other chards, as we've got over here. So we've got the bright yellow beet leaf, and we've got your standard Swiss beet leaf Swiss. Now I've not done any radishes, but I'm thinking about putting them radishes in there, them French breakfast 3. But we'll be doing them directly into the soil. So there's those ones that are going to be going directly. Beetroot there, Mr. Fothergill's. I can barely pronounce Mr. Fothergill's, but that's Boltardy, which is exactly what we've got growing on in the first bed, numero uno, which is out here. And it's doing very well, even though it was cluster planted. Because we did a boil up on some of these the other day. Look at them beauties, all growing on, all coming. Yeah, put them to bed in a second or two. So those are going in. The more Boltardy because they were very nice. We had them as part of the salad feast for Bradley's birthday last night. Boiled up and pickled some more of them. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing. So in this little section, and the next section, we're going to be putting a few seeds into there and then sealing the bags back off again and putting them back for next time. Okay. Yeah, so those are the starter homes all laid out, and they're inside a big one of those base trays. I think that's about a 4-foot base tray, a 4-foot-ish base tray that they're in. So as we said before, there are 30, 60, and 2 24s, which is 48. So there's 108 there, which is not all the trays that we've got, but it is where these boys are going. Boys and girls are going, and also this kale, which is that one. Alright, now I'm going to put a couple in each one of these and see what's what, see which ones germinate. So it's 2 seeds per cell that we're going to do, but before that we're going to put the sowing and cutting compost Get Growing from Wilco's 20 litre, which should be enough to do those easily, and any excess we'll collect in there. But I'm just showing you these. I'm going to take those ones out for the time being and put that stuff in there, and then take it out of there and put it in there. Alright, that's next phase. One of the things you do need to check before you put your soil in there is that there are holes in the bottom of the cells, which, as you can see from that there are. You do get it sometimes where, especially with the cheaper stuff, usually you get them where there isn't any holes, and you've got to push the holes out before you start. If there aren't any holes in there, it can't draw the moisture up from the outer tray, which I'm going to show you in a second. As you can see there, we're just sticking the compost in to the trays at the moment, the cells, and you put it all in, level it all off, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay? Yeah. So they're the kale seeds. They're very small, tiny little seeds, but they've got to go into there. So we're using a pencil. Have I got my pencil? Yes, I have. Using our pencil, we will poke and penetrate the surface of the earth rudely. Just a little way down, probably a centimetre. Into the middle of all of these. Okay. And then we shall tap these into there. Now I can't do that with one hand, so but essentially what I'll be doing is, with the seeds, getting the pencil and knocking the seeds in. I can see them clearly against the white background there. We're knocking those little seeds in to those little holes there, and I'll be putting 2 in each. Yeah, and that is of the Nero di Toscan. Nero de Toscan. She's a beautiful. Hopefully. Yeah. Now you can't see what that little sign says there, but I promise you that inside all of those little holes is one or two, or maybe even 3 or 4, if because I've got St. Vitus dance of the Nero di Toscana Italian kale. So to see that clearer, yeah, we got that kale, Nero di Toscana, and on the back of it, the date, the 15th of the 6th, 2018. And that way we'll know when they were planted as seeds, and we can see when they pop through. So we'll give them a couple of weeks to all pop through, and the ones that haven't popped through, we'll think, they're not going to pop through really, those, are they? But we'll see how they go. Now in there, obviously, we've got 12. And in each one of those there's at least 2 seeds, I think. So hopefully there'll be 24 little plants that we can pick out the least vigorous and get shut of, leaving the other and the most vigorous to continue on. And then after hopefully about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, they'll be ready then for potting on or planting out. So we'll pop them on, probably pop them on for another 3 or 4 weeks after that, and then they will be ready for planting out into the big wild world. And by that time it will be, I would imagine it's going to be beginning of August when they get put out, or the end of July. My birthday is the 10th of July, everybody. If you want to send me an happy birthday on the 10th of July. On the 14th of July, we're not going to be in this country. We're going to be away in sunny Spain, near Barcelona, the wonderful Barcelona. We see the Gaudi Cathedral, we see the Olympic Village, we see the Barca Stadium, and we catch the sun. We have this sun all over our skins. And that will be for a 10-day, or is it 9-day? I think it's a 9-day stint we're going over there for. All-inclusive job, which is nice. But yeah.